So it's me, your boy K Samson. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. It depends on your time. So I have something special for us today. This word may be a word of encouragement, inspiration, etc. You got what I'm saying? It combined together. But let me just be real with you. Your breakup sometimes is a blessing, and your breakup is what is your break in. Sometimes your breakup become your what your breakthrough. I'm sure you're getting what I'm saying. So sometimes God will not connect you until He disconnect you. Let me just be real with you. My father used to tell me a word. He said, Samson, when God is with you, He will not allow some certain words, some certain categories of people to come into your life to rule it, because He is the owner. He is the master. He is the one that watcheth over you. So when He discover that you are hanging around with wrong people, or you are in a relationship with someone that He did not permit to be there, He must surely do anything to disconnect you. Why? Because He will never allow the wrong people into your life when He is there watching over you. That means it's a mistake. That's why sometimes when many of us involve in one thing to another, when many of us involve in either rejection, or maybe our working place, our masters, they tell us they don't need us again, it look like everything become worse. Let me tell you a story of my friend. That was where I was working years back. So because I'm a type of person who don't see truth without saying it, so anytime I work, we work like something like 8 to 9 hours. Then anytime we work at end of the month, if you calculate the money you earned, you maybe they pay you 40 euro every day, and you times it times 26, or maybe you count 20 times, you times it times 20, you come to calculate that, you come to figure out that the money that they do, that they send into your account, will not be the same. One day must surely missed. So then after like 3 months, they do it to me the first year, the first month, the second month. When they do it again the second month, then I call the man, because I have been complaining. I tell them that you people are making mistake, that you people are now deducting one day from our work. The man start to give excuses, because the moment is this: when you expose them, they become annoyed. But when you keep quiet, they love you. Then when I tell this man, this man said this. I wanted to involve police and all those things. I said, no, let me just lock off. Not because of ordinary 3 days. I should be doing what? Should be doing this. Then I leave them. And most of my friends who were there with us, working with us, many of them keep silent. Some of them were telling me, now that you lost this job, do you think that it will be very easy for you to get a job? I tell them, when God is with you, no man on earth can absolutely be against you, because the same God who provided that job have means to do it. You know, and even right now, none of these people are working in that place. Why? Because sometimes when many of us don't understand that when God is about to bless you, when God is about to rewrite histories, when God is about to do certain things, He disconnects you in order for Him to connect you. He disconnects you in order for you to connect you. That is why sometimes you break up with your ex. Why? Because God have someone who is up there waiting for you. I see a lot of people who cry day and night, share tears, feel like they have made mistake of breaking up with their partner, or they have made mistake of leaving their husband. The truth is this, brothers, sisters, you have not yet made mistake. God knows the best. There's something that I discussed with one of my friends, in Nigeria, when I was communicating with her. So we talk about our sister whom the Christian Association we lost this year, early, let me say 4 months back, Sister Chinashi. I talk about her. I said that the reason why most of these people don't want to leave their marriage is because they're focused on what people will say. If you are married to a man who beats you every day, my brother, I advise you by the name of God, leave that marriage. Because you are in that marriage does not mean God will not bring another man into your life. Yes, believe me, it is better you leave it, disconnect from people who don't want you to be there. Because that's what people are facing today. Even another man again, Christians have lost another musician who made a mistake, and the pastor do what? Give him him strike, not to do anything, not to do all sorts of things, not to come, not to sing, not to do all sorts of things, and that leads to what? To his So what am I trying to say is this: when God is about to bless you, he break you. Just believe me. When God was about to bless Esther, do you know how many heartbreak Esther go through? Do you know how many frustration Esther go through? Do you know how many things occur in the life of Esther? Look at the life of David. David was once in the palace with King Saul. After everything he encountered with Goliath, he still started to encounter with what? With King Saul, who's supposed to give him the crown, who's supposed to honor him for what? For killing his enemies. But yet, Saul turned to become his worsted enemy. And with that, God promote him. So my brother, do not be frustrated when God disconnect you from connection you think that is right. Because many of us always think that these people we are following, they are the right and they are the most important people that ought to be in our life. And when we break up with them, we become so frustrated. We start to think, when are we going to see these categories of people? When are we going to meet this type of people? When are we going to do this? Maybe we will not be able to meet them in our lifetime. Maybe we will not be able to see them again. Maybe we will not be able to mingle with the type of people like them. That is wrong, brothers. God knows your in and out. God knows your future. He knows where you are going to. He knows what is going to. Even in 20 years to come, God have already figured it how it's going to be. That is why God will never allow nothing to occur without him being permitted. That's why sometimes when people involved in some business or in certain things, some of them will say, hey, there's the work of the devil. Not all are work of the devil. Sometimes God caused all these asunders in order for him to promote you, in order for him to connect you to the right people. That was what happened years back when I was with my parents. There were certain things that happened in my home. So everybody were shouting, crying. My dad looked at them. My dad was watching them. He said, sometimes people don't understand that when God when God is speaking, he don't speak direct or indirect. He speak in mystery. Everybody was watching my dad. They said, what kind of man is this? Everything about you is what? Is parable. What am I trying to tell you is this: when God is about to bless you, when God is about to do or to rewrite everything about you, he first of all caused what? Mystery around within you. So what am I trying to say, brothers? Don't be offended. Do not be what? Do not look at it as something like tribalism, if I may put it in that way. Or do not look at it as if God have abandoned you, or God have rejected you, or God have forgetting you. No. God knows much more than you know yourself. If I tell you the story that I encountered before coming to this place, you will be shocked. So what am I trying to say is this: everything you go through, God knows why. And when God, oh my God, don't mind me, it's because of God. When God is about to do what? To put you into your name, he makes sure he removes the obstacles. Because people whom you think that they are the right people, at the end, you're going to understand that God have made the best mistake of what? Of allowing them to leave. Because if he permits them to stay there, there will never be a room for him to do the best for you. You know what I'm saying? So do not be confused when God disconnects you, either from your wife, from your husband, from your family, from your so-called friends, from your job, because God knows why. There's one of my friends whom my master decided to remove. When we are working, many of my friends, they complain, so most of them decide to leave. And some of our friends were saying, how can you get job? But where they are working now, my master was shocked when they give him the information where most of them are working. So my brothers, do not be dumbfounded, because when God is about to promote you, he must surely disconnect people whom you think that you are being connected. You know what I'm saying? He must surely disconnect them. Remember, blessed me. God bless you. If you have not subscribed to your little boy, kindly subscribe and thumbs up the bell. At any time I upload, you'll be the first to see it. Happy December, the year forward for Christmas. I'll be waiting for us to celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? Anything you have, use it to appreciate God. Anything you have, anything you do this, appreciate God. If it is cup of rice you are able to buy, don't complain. Remain blessed.